Hello again. I am still working on my A to Z embroidery stitch book, and I'm still working on blanket stitches. I have done a full panel of blanket stitches already. Ooh, I snapped my beads over. And now I am working on some more that I found on this new panel. And in my last video, I did the mirrored. And today I'm going to do the overlock, which looks remarkably similar to the closed, but I believe it is a different stitch. It says the overlock stitch is a variation of the blanket stitch. Visually, it might look like the closed blanket stitch, but the embroidery technique differs. The overlock stitch, sewing by hand, is a decorative and secure way to finish the edges of blankets, garments, or home textiles. You can see vintage blankets with the edges with an overlock stitch. This does not give me the directions on how to do it. I will have to go find some. I have been using this ball yarn that I got at the thrift, and my goal, I thought, was to get that I would eventually get to the colors that I see, and that's not happening. I did all of the lettering in the burgundy, so I have cut off the rest of the burgundy that I will use somewhere else, and I've gotten to the red for this one. And then for the next stitch, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to cut off the color and get to the next one, and I'll use these bits somewhere else. I will be right back with directions on how to do the overlock stitch. Okay, I found instructions for this stitch on practicalembroidery.eu, and it says to embroider the overlock stitch by hand, you must use a double thread and knot both ends together. So they are mark 2 parallel lines or one below the edge you want to secure. Okay, so you can do this over the, obviously these are all blanket stitches, you can do them over the edge of the fabric, but I'm doing them on the fabric rather than over the edge. So they have their thread with their needle in the middle of the loop, and the end is knotted like so. Okay, push the needle up on the top line and stitch to the line marked below. Okay, so just like a normal blanket stitch, and I'm going to come out right where I ended my mirrored stitch. So I'm going to come up there, and it's going to give me grief because I'm dragging it through where there was already, there we go. And then a regular blanket stitch where you come down here and up here, and then you separate your two threads and you only go around one. Come up on the upper mark and pass the needle between the threads. This will form a triangle. Be careful not to pass the needle in the middle of the thread. I need to scroll down. Pull the thread to tighten the loop. Oops, I got caught. It's going to be even more difficult with this wool that I'm using because now I'm dragging doubles through, and then I believe you just repeat that across. Yeah. So, oops. Around one. to go slow because it wants to grab on everything. Oh, well, would you look at that? It does look like the closed, but that is not how we made the closed at all. I feel like I made the closed a month ago, though, so I don't really remember what I did. I would have to go back and look. One of the things I was kind of laughing about with this journey, I'm learning these stitches, but I'm not really practicing them right now, other than the little bit that I do for this book. I was thinking about making myself a scroll of stitches where I could just practice the different stitches over and over and over again, but maybe at a later date. My thread is twisty and grabby. There we go. Mine lean a little. Theirs are very straight, but that's okay. I will continue across and then I will be right back. There it is. I don't think I finished it right. That's a theme with me. I don't know how to finish. I probably should have gone down right at the end instead of putting that little flag on it. But, I don't know. Someday, maybe, I will be a master embroiderer and I will know the answers to questions like that. That's not today. Today, I have just learned a new stitch and I'm very happy with it. I will tell you that this yarn was hard to use for that. I had to separate it all out and everything. But there it is. Thank you for watching.